Morning, Year 7. I'm so sorry for my absence today. I'm still unwell, but I thought I'd leave you a little video that might help explain things a little bit better. I've posted everything that you need on the Google Classroom post for today. So if we just backtrack back to drawing our faces, we copied this face and we used the construction lines, which are all the dotted lines you see over this face, in order to construct the face. We had the line of symmetry, top of the head. We used the hairline as well. Eyes, nose, mouth, and chin. And you can see the pupils to the edge of the mouth and the edge of the eyes to the nose. So that was the Year 7. I'm really sorry again that I can't be there to help you out, and for my absence, I'm still unwell. But I wanted to leave you this little video to might help you a little bit more than just reading through the classroom post. So I'll explain today's task. We remember back to a couple of lessons ago where we drew this face. Now, when we draw faces, we use the construction lines you see in front of us now. The dotted lines are called construction lines. They help us construct the face. We use the hair, the top of the head. We use the hairline, eyes, nose, mouth, and chin. And if we remember correctly, we divide the face up into quarters. So we have head, hairline, ears, nose, chin. And when we divide the bottom quarter, we sit the mouth on top of that line. Okay, so that was from last lesson. We are now drawing Justin Bieber's face, or the other half of Justin Bieber's face. Now, there's a couple of documents I did want you to look through. We did look through them in class, but in order to draw eyes and nose and mouths, we've got to understand that there's different types of eyes and noses and mouths, and that's why we look different, even though the proportions of our face are the same. So there's a link to this document here where you can see different types of head shapes: rounded, more square chin, oval, pear shape. And when we go through the eyes, we looked at this last lesson, when we go through the eyes, we can see, I'll just bring these ones back up, we can see the pupil most of the time is covered by some of the eyelid. We have some lovely lines of our eyes. We've got the eyelid, the top of the eye, the bottom of the eye. We have our lashes, and of course we've got the coloured part of our eye and the pupil. So look carefully at Justin Bieber's and see how you can replicate that. Okay. Different types of eyes, noses. Now, our nose is made up of 4 things. Okay, we have the nostril lines, the nostril holes. We have the nostrils, the edges of the nostrils. We have the ball that sits in the nose, and we've got the bridge of the nose. Now, I'm just going to bring up a page of noses for you to have a look at, and that's why we all have different types of looking noses, but we all have the same structure within our nose. So look carefully at Justin's as well. Now, our noses, the bridge of a nose isn't defined by a line. We're not comic characters. You must draw lightly, because if you look at these noses here, they're actually defined by tone. The shape is defined by the tone. So draw nice and lightly when you draw him in, and scroll through the rest of this very carefully, looking at the different types of mouths. Now you can see we have our bottom lip, the top lip that juts down, okay, with those 2 little lines that join our nose. So we're constantly analysing what we're drawing, okay? And the middle of the mouth comes up, scoops down, comes up again, and goes to the corner. So we need to think about what sort of curves. You can see these lips go up and then down, whereas these lips go scoop in and then up. So that's why we all look different, okay? We've got neck and the shoulders, and we've got our ears that sit between our eyes and our nose. So have a little look more carefully through that document to look at the different features. So what we're going to be doing is drawing Justin's face today, okay? There is a document here that's called Drawing Task 2, Justin Bieber, that you can have a look and have a little read through. Okay, but I'm just going to jump over to my document, okay, and let's look carefully at this, because this is how I want you to do your drawing before you start. We are going to put in the headline, the hair, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the chin, and you are going to be guided by where his features sit. So you can see I've drawn a line directly under his chin, under his mouth, under his nose, under his eyes, and his hairline. Now, the way that I got his head, no, not his hair, but his head, his scalp, as if he was bald, was by measuring the quarters. So we had 1/4 from chin to nose, nose to eyes, eyes to hairline, and then I measured that distance again, and I marked where the top of the head would be. You can see I've labelled, which I'd like you to do as well. So you're going to copy mine exactly. Okay. Next, you can see with a red pencil, you can do this with a highlighter. I've actually drawn a coloured line around the shape of the head. And you can see I've sort of worked out where it would be underneath his voluminous hair. Okay. I've also traced around the lips, the nose, and the eye. That way it just highlights the shape and it might be easier for you to draw it. Okay. Once you've marked that in, and I discussed this in class, you can see where these crosses are. These crosses are to help mark where the scalp, or sorry, where the head actually should be touching on this other side so that it is symmetrical. So this here is the same as this here. This distance between the ear and the middle of the nose is the same as this distance here because I measured it with a ruler. So what I did was I measured this distance, which I think was 42, but if I remember correctly, and then I measured this distance and put a little marking. And I did that all the way up. So I copied where these purple crosses are onto the other side so that it is going to be symmetrical. All those distances the same from the photo side to my drawing side. And then I go in and look at the curve and look at the shape of the head, and I very, very, very lightly draw it in. I did the same here with the eyes. You can see my purple lines with the eyes. I measured that distance, then that distance, and worked out where my eyes were. And I can keep going with that method, such as the edge of the mouth. Measure on this side, the edge of the mouth. Edge of the nose, this distance, I measure on this side, and I get where the edge of the nose is. Okay, that's a very systematic approach. You could do it by eye, but I'd rather you still measure. You can measure with your finger or measure with a ruler to make sure each side is exact. So your task this lesson will be to copy all of the features of his face, all the details of his face in line only, no tone, in line only, drawn very, very, very lightly, okay, onto the other side of the blank page. Okay, don't tone or shade his hair, just do the shape of his hair, and we'll do toning when I return to class with you. Okay, if you do finish that, if you jump over to classroom, remember all the instructions are in here if you need them. We jump back over to classroom. I'll just use my 7-5 class, for example. It was all the same for you guys today. You can see all those things have been posted up there for you. Instructions from class about drawing a face. Everything's written in here if you need to go through and read it. But I've just said, if you finish this, you can begin drawing a draft self-portrait. So take a photo of yourself using your webcam, using the same construction lines as we've done twice now with that copying the face. And with Justin Bieber, you got to do that the same, but you got to do it with your face. Okay, so remember when we copied that face from the PowerPoint, you got to do it the same, but using your photo as a reference and trying to make it look like you. Thinking about your shape of the face, thinking about the shape of your eyes. What sort of bridge of the nose do you have? What sort of ball sits in the end of your nose? So you're going to be trying to do a draft self-portrait in your VAPD if you finish Justin Bieber in line only. I will be on my computer today. If you have any questions, please let me know.